All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna be reacting to a video from Reva TV. She make a lot of good content, so I'm gonna leave the link to her channel and this video in the description box. I ain't gonna talk much further. Let's get into the content.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. So what I'm about to show you guys is something that is just basically foolishness, okay? This woman decided to go out of the country to the Dominican Republic. I believe it's Punta Cana to be exact, and went on to the ocean or whatever, and there were people who were there who were selling pineapples. So apparently the person who sold her a pineapple overpriced it, and she was supposed to pay an amount, I believe, or she did pay an amount that was like even more than the ticket that she purchased to even get on this boat ride. So this was her reaction to that situation. I just got to press play. So we can see the man who owns the raft in the red hat. She is going into his personal belongings. She's throwing away, the stuff that he makes the drinks with. She's throwing out the pineapples out. She's standing on top of the raft, yelling at him, cursing him out. Tried to make a getaway thinking that, she was all arrogant and she was just going to get onto the boat immediately. Ended up falling off into the water. Like, this whole event, okay? As we can see based on the scenery, there's all these other boats that are there. And the only person who is acting a clear fool that we see is this black woman from America. Okay?
See, that's why a lot of people not want to beat up around. That nasty ass attitude, you carry that attitude everywhere you go. You're in a whole nother country acting a fool like you act here in Atlanta and Houston and all these black populated towns. People are getting real sick of that nasty attitude, okay, thinking the world owe you something. And people ain't, I know I ain't putting up with it no longer. And a lot of other people coming to the same conclusion. Just sick of it, man.
It ain't me who said it. It ain't me who did it. I'm just showing you the facts that we see in this video. Now, again, apparently this woman actually ended up getting a refund for the money that she paid, but she still decided to act a plumb fool outside of the country. My first initial, thoughts about this situation was it could have never been that serious. Okay? It could have never been that serious. You are always going to be able to, rectify situations when you are in a calm manner way better than you are going to rectify a situation by being rah, ghetto, hood rat. I'm a woman, even though you a man, I could take you. Like, it's never going to work out in your favor. All you had to do was communicate with this person, but you now going out of your way to destroy this man's property, a local to the country, a country that you do not belong to, is foolishness. And it immediately reminded me of the situation of, the first scenario of the woman who was, another black woman from the U.S. who went to Dubai and was, arrested and detained, had people all out trying to come out for her and help her and assist her because she was not following the rules of the country.
According to her mom, her passport has been confiscated because she was charged with screaming in public.
It also could result in prison time. So it's very scary.
Now, again, similar to the situation that happened here with the pineapples, it was something that had to do with, her being overcharged.
She was a passenger in a friend's rental car, and they got into an accident there in Dubai. Tina Baxter says when her daughter went to the company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, Baxter says it did not go well.
She found out that she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money.
And, she wasn't having that because, ain't nobody going to try to get me. I'm going to get them. And got into this, verbal altercation with this person at the car rental place because of her allegedly, getting scammed or being overcharged or whatever the case is.
She dealt with a very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says, resulting in her being charged.
Now, you believe that? Look at her. This fool out here with green hair in Dubai. You really believe she was in the right? You know that woman's over there acting a fool like they do here. And it's good she got arrested. I wish they would do stuff like that here in America, but I already know. This Keisha and Karen's playground, so they get to do what they want to do here, but they locked their ass up in Dubai. And her mom coming online pretending like they just did her wrong. Them folks ain't do her wrong. Look how they act.
For screaming they're in Dubai.
I wish that some of these rules and regulations would become, rules and regulations here in the U.S. Because I got to tell you, as a black woman myself, okay, I am more than allowed to give my full, thorough opinions and thoughts about this situation in a very unbiased way. You want to know why? Because I love us. Okay, we are beautiful. We can be graceful, elegant, like we're so multifaceted as a people. But you see, when y'all come with that ratchet behavior and y'all take it somewhere else, I personally love to see it checked. Okay, because this is the stuff that we have to deal with when we're all here in the U.S. dealing with this kind of behavior, and it almost seems as though there's no ramifications for it. Like, we can watch numerous police videos when literally the authority that is coming in that can take you to jail is present, and how these women act with our own police officers. It's crazy to me.
3 seconds, I promise you.
Something that's extremely necessary is rules, is order. Okay? That is how things are able to function, is when there is order set in place. And a lot of times, this entitlement that not only Black American women have, but just, from a global standpoint, that it seems that American women in general have, is this level of entitlement. Right? I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. There should be no ramifications for if I tell this person off, or if I cuss this person out, or if I act ratchet like how I always do around my homegirls or at home, or whatever the case is. And that's just not the way that you do things. And that's not the way that you can get points across. It's very immature, in my personal opinion. It's very, you don't know how to behave in certain places. It's very out of control. Right? And so when they deal with these situations as if it's out of control, because it is out of control behavior, then there's always some kind of scenario trying to make it seem like, women in these scenarios are the victims, when that's not the case.
And so she is in jail for one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
Man, dudes look stupid without facial hair. I'm sorry. You can't trust a man with no facial hair and a fat, chubby ass face. Dude, stop lying. She wasn't arrested for just raising her voice. She probably was, but y'all trying to make it seem like she didn't deserve what happened to her. Come on, man. Never trust a man without any facial hair. You can't trust something off about that look.
Our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do.
Yeah, in your opinion, she didn't commit a crime. But it ain't your country. But in their country, that is a crime. Jackass. In my opinion. Nobody gives a damn about your opinion. What opinion matters to folks, lawmakers in that country. And the lawmakers say what she did is against the law and she being held accountable. To hear with your opinion.
It's not fair. It's not right.
There was another situation that actually happened as well, when another Black American woman went to Dubai. And I believe she was actually not even staying there. She was passing through there and had to go to the airport, and ended up deciding that she was going to nudge somebody with her shoulder, or, brush past them because she had an attitude and things weren't going her way. And this woman ended up having to serve a 1-year, prison sentence over it.
21-year-old sentenced to 1 year in prison in Dubai for touching a security guard's arm at the Dubai airport. And so what I have been researching and reading is that she is now serving a year prison term for nudging a security guard.
Now, you would think after these widespread global stories that this would put women in a certain space of like, okay, you know what? I may, maybe I act a fool at the house, but I'm not going to go ahead and do that when I'm, overseas out the country. I'm not going to act like I have any kind of entitlement, or that somebody's going to have my back. Like, I'm going to portray myself in a certain way, because you don't know what the jail system like is in Dominican Republic.
Yeah, you would think that a normal, logical person would think that, seeing all these women being made example of on the world stage when they went to these foreign countries, especially these Muslim countries, that would, figure out they can't act the same way they do here in America. But no, Keisha's attitude is so damn bad and jacked up. Keisha don't give a damn about nothing or anybody. Anybody can get this nasty ass attitude. So no, they don't care about that. They're not gonna check their attitude. They're gonna keep that same nasty ass attitude no matter where they go.
Okay? You have no idea how they handle things over there.
None.
And oftentimes they believe that, coming from America, that there's going to be some people that are going to come over there and save them and get them out of situations, when a lot of times that's actually not what ends up happening. America be like, okay, I don't got nothing to do with that. Y'all going to have to stay over there and figure it out because y'all know how to act. Y'all don't know how to act here. Y'all don't know how to act over there. What gets me about this video is that, the woman and how she's acting, these are how men are used to being treated even here when they're in a relationship with these women, right? And a lot of, even men do not even realize the severity of how toxic this behavior actually is. Like when a lot of these women behave this way overseas, they're like, we're not used to that. Okay, we're not used to you being a woman coming up here trying to, dictate nothing. We don't get down like that. There's a certain level of respect that we have with one another when we are communicating. But also, I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for saying this, but it's my honest truth and my honest opinion. A lot of other women from different countries have a certain level of respect for the men in their countries. And there's a lot of things that they cannot do. You would think that us being in this place that we have a lot of freedom, that we would still have that certain level of respect. But it's like with more freedom comes, more women talking about we don't need no man. We don't need them. We can do better without them. They're beneath us. We don't want to procreate with them. We don't want to be in a relationship with them. And again, a lot of these freedoms that are happening are because of the same men. The men have built the infrastructures. The men have gone out and on with their way. The men are the ones who are approving a lot of these laws. And because, again, of the freedom, it has, we've got more freedom as women. And a lot of these women have just decreased their level of respect.
So the ruling is in. Here's the 3 top reasons why Black women have the lowest marital rates. We are uncooperative.
True.
We do not listen.
True.
And we have the nastiest attitudes.
True.
And unfortunately, y'all, I agree.
And again, not because you be getting away with it here means that you can go on over to these other people's country and be acting a clear fool. It's a horrible thing. And it also sets up, more horrible standards for other new people who are going over there that look like you, because it's like, oh yeah, they all don't know how to act. Because you are the representative. And they're like, they might see somebody else who's probably not even going to act a certain way, but because of their image of you consistently, y'all are disrespectful, and because of the stereotypes that you are proving to be true, then other people who go to these places get treated a different way. And it's crazy. I think it's crazy. And I think that there should be more ramifications in place. You're out of control. Nobody can talk to you. Nobody can hold you accountable. Nobody can tell you that you're wrong. Nobody can say nothing to you. And you're comfortable with that. You shouldn't be. I think this situation is crazy. Okay? I think this situation is crazy. And if these other countries start cracking down, I don't want to hear that they're biased against certain races or they don't like a certain set of people. I don't want to hear it. Because when y'all be acting a fool, that's what happens. Then all of a sudden, they stop letting people into certain places. And all of a sudden, you got to prove yourself before you can get into certain resorts. I get it. Okay? Because y'all not going to come over to my stuff and start tearing my stuff up. That ain't going to work with me. Again, this adds to the reason why when it comes to being desirable, they said that Black women are on the bottom. Because we're looked at as unruly, disrespectful, can't do nothing for ourselves, very entitled, just mean, rude. It's terrible. And the more that people act like this, the more they are adding to that narrative. I'd like to know what you guys think about this.
All right, man, that was a good video from River. Like I said, I'm going to put the link to her channel in the description box. Go check her out, give her a follow. I agree with everything she was saying in this video. Black women they are unruly, masculine, and that's why a lot of people want to stop dealing with black women, including myself. So, hopefully things will change. Most likely they probably won't. But until then, hey, we got to do what we got to do. I know a lot of dudes getting them passports, SYSBM, whatever you choose to do. Hey, handle your business and keep it moving, man. So like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow this channel. Catch you in this video. Peace.